citation. You have it in the brochure, so I'll read an abridged version. Dr. Herbert Wigwe was born at Island Maternity Hospital, Lagos, to Pastor Shingle and Pastor Mrs. Stella Wigwe on August 15, 1966. The nation was in the midst of several political crises, which eventually led to the outbreak of the Civil War the following year. Herbert was their third child, coming after Osita and Chilo, and was followed by Emeka, Peggy, and Stella. During the Civil War, his family settled in various southeastern cities, including Calabar. It was at that time that Herbert learned the Efik language, which he spoke fluently, in addition to his native Ikwere. Upon graduation in 1987 from the University of Nigeria, where he read accountancy, Herbert joined the renowned accounting firm Cooperton Lybrand and worked as a graduate assistant whilst also studying for his chartered accounting examination. Following his qualification in 1989, he chose to pursue a career in banking and joined Capital Merchant Bank as a credit analyst. He worked at Capital Merchant Bank for just a year before yielding to the call for further education. As a recipient of the prestigious Chevening Scholarship, Herbert left for the United Kingdom to study banking and finance at the University College of North Wales, now known as Bangor University. Upon his return, he joined Guarantee Trust Bank in November 1991 as a deputy manager, corporate banking. By December of 1999, Herbert was appointed as one of Nigeria's youngest executive directors and became an integral part in the leadership team that ran Guarantee Trust back then. That institution was regarded as one of Nigeria's finest. In 2001, Herbert and Wigwe teamed up in an audacious move to buy their own bank, a story today which is a significant reference point to many young men and aspiring entrepreneurs within the African continent. Herbert was appointed Deputy Managing Director post the acquisition of Access Bank in 2002. For the next 11 years, the duo, as they are fondly called, worked exceedingly hard to transform what was a 4th division bank into one of Nigeria's finest institutions and a top 5 bank by 2013, when Wigwe left the scene and handed over to his friend and partner, Herbert Wigwe, as the Group Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the bank. Herbert, upon assuming duties as the CEO, was tasked with the vision of positioning the bank as one of the world's most respected African banks. Herbert took on this task and in his time transformed the institution into one of Africa's largest banks, closing at the 15th largest financial institution in the continent. He expanded Access Bank into the global space with strong footprints in markets like France, Dubai, China, and our recent regulatory approval for a Hong Kong subsidiary. This it did whilst ensuring that we built a bold inorganic strategy within the continent. At the last count, before Herbert left as the CEO of the bank, the institution had 18 subsidiaries in the African continent. Herbert bestrode the banking sector like a titan, which he was, so much so that he was named African Banker of the Year for 2 consecutive years in 2020 and 2021. As Access Bank CEO, he took on the key responsibility of developing the financial sector not just in Nigeria but across the continent. Herbert, in his time, was chairman of the body of bank CEOs, a position he held 3 times and is on record that he's the first to have done so in 3 consecutive mandates. He also embraced Access Bank's sustainability agenda with gusto. He ensured that we operated in. In his time, the bank also set a record as receiving what was almost 8 times in the 9 years Herbert ran the institution for the most sustainable bank in the African continent, an award that was given by Karl Rusch Financial Sustainability Award in Germany. Herbert was also known to have shepherded Access Bank's award-winning merger with Diamond Bank. one that we concluded and transformed our institution into the largest bank in the continent, in Africa, and the largest bank in the continent based on our customer base. The institution has grown to a 28,000 strong employee bank, and has ensured that we've leveraged this significant platform to make impact not just in Nigeria, as I earlier said, but across the continent. Beyond making money, Herbert was a true philanthropist. He maintained the bank's corporate citizenship, focused on the earth, health, and education. It's on record that under his stewardship, we started in partnership with Lagos State, what is today known as the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. In partnership with AtX, we created what is the largest art fair in the West Africa, the AtX Lagos. And of course, what he was most proud of, the work he did with the United Nations Children and Educational Fund, UNICEF, to fund the education of indigent students across the African continent. Many of our friends who are seated here have joined us many times in either South Africa or London towards raising money to support education for indigent students in the continent. In 2016, in furtherance to his philanthropic pursuits, Herbert founded the HOW Foundation. It was with a focus on education, health, and youth empowerment. I'm not sure I've seen anyone who has more youthful friends than Herbert did. The HOW Foundation started off by funding what is 23 primary health centers in each of the local governments of Rivers State. This they did in partnership with the Private Sector Alliance, Health Alliance for Nigeria. For life after private business and making money. As you all know, Herbert was not someone who was afraid of what was waiting for him next. He left the bank 2 years before his limit tenure by the central bank was up. He was already preparing for life after Access Holdings. That's the kind of person Herbert was. And we've all talked and celebrated his passion and the drive that he put towards Wigwe University. In 2023, the Nigerian University Commission granted a license to the Wigwe University, and Herbert's vision was to create a fearless generation of world-class university graduates who excelled as entrepreneurs, leaders, and innovators. He was very particular about where this location could be. He chose Isiokpo, his local government. He wanted to put this community, this state, Africa, and of course Nigeria on the map. He was going to set up a world-class university that every African, anywhere in the world you are, would be proud of this color of your skin and the heritage of the black race that we all belong to. Herbert got married in November of 1995 to his heartthrob, Chizoba. He fondly called her the most beautiful, and we definitely can attest that she was. And together, they became the quintessential global power couple, establishing relationships with friends, partners across the world. Their first child, Chizzy, is a spitting image of Herbert, while Tochi, his second child, is Doreen's carbon copy. Chizzy, a graduate of Georgetown University, was following his father's footsteps with a career in finance as an employee of AFC. Tochi, with degrees from NYU and Imperial College London, has also commenced a career in banking. But Herbert and Chizoba were not done with child rearing. After a 10-year break, they added David, Anna, and Okachi to the Wigwe clan. Herbert demonstrated extraordinary dedication to his family, never failing to prioritize their needs and desires. From the earliest stages of each child's life, he was there to witness each milestone, offering guidance, support, and encouragement along the way. Despite the demands of his ever-expanding commitments, he never hesitated to set aside precious time for each child and for his wife. His commitment to young people went beyond his immediate family. Herbert has touched lives across the African continent, and many of us have witnessed this firsthand. And for those who haven't, I believe the last few days have given you an opportunity to better understand the human being that Herbert is. He was a constant pillar of support for other people's children, offering guidance and financial assistance wherever they needed it. Herbert was widely recognized and celebrated for his service to banking and humanity. In 2023, President Muhammad Buhari honored him with the National Award of Commander of the Federal Republic. This was particularly for the work that Herbert did with several partners and friends of his, and of course in conjunction with the Lagos State government under COVID. That was the committee they put together to help the country fight COVID and the impact that it was having on our economy and our social life. The same year, the Rivers State government also honored him with the Rivers Gold Star Service Award, an honor reserved for an engineer of the state who has excelled in his or her own field. Earlier in 2018, Herbert was awarded an honorary doctorate of Business Administration by his alma mater, University of Nigeria, for his outstanding contribution to Nigeria. He was also bestowed with the Fellow Chartered Institute of Bankers, Fellow Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, as well as the Fellow Institute of Credit Administration. Herbert has only just recently concluded an undergraduate degree in law from University of London. In that same university, he had pursued a master's degree in finance and was already challenging me to start his doctorate degree. That's the measure of the man that Herbert Wigwe is. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next, we want to